Well, welcome everyone. Good evening. This is Bridget Danner with Hormone Detox Shop, aka Women's Wellness Collaborative. It's 6 o'clock here in Arizona, and I've been so confused because we don't change our clocks. So that when the clocks change, it's like super confusing for us. So I'm doing this webinar a little later than I expected, but I'm super excited to be doing that. I really appreciate you guys being here live. I know that many more people will watch later. Let me see. Oops. There we go. I want to make sure everyone can see me. So we're going to be talking today about supplements for hormones and detoxification in particular. And really, I'm just going to focus on the new products in our shop and why I chose them and some aspects of why they're good quality. So I'm mostly going to screen share with you. I will admit this is very new for us, and there's a slight chance that there's going to be some technical difficulties ordering because I realized my team member didn't put in the dimensions of every product, and that might mess things up. So I just realized that before we got on, but let's just say like this is a what we call like a soft launch of some new products we want to carry, and a lot of the products are in the pre-sale mode. So that means I didn't put them in the shop yet. I'm waiting to see what you guys want. And that's why I'm going to do some really good specials today, because I want as many people, frankly, to buy things so I can see what you want to buy. Like if everybody wants the thyroid supplement, then we're going to end up carrying the thyroid supplement forever. If everybody wants, the multivitamins, and I hope you do because I really want those, we'll keep those going. But I really don't know what you want until you let me know. So Larissa asked, we'll get a list of all the supplements. I don't have a list yet, Larissa, but I could make one, but we'll kind of visually go through it all. But if as we go along, you're like, oh, I really need a guide or a list, please let me know, because that can still be made. We can make like a shorter, little guide. That's actually a really good idea. But again, we're just sort of trying it out. So I'm trying not to also get like too attached to what we have in the shop quite yet. All right, let me do a screen share. Actually, let me tell you a little bit more about my background with supplements. So I love supplements. I have so many. I don't know why I didn't have a supplement store a long time ago, but I have been selling supplements as a practitioner in a clinic for many years before I went online, like 12, 13 years. I originally studied Chinese medicine, so I was doing Chinese herbal formulas at first. But when I was in Chinese medicine school, I also worked at a Western herbs store called Herbs Etc., which is still a brand that exists, and it's distributed throughout the country. And I loved working there. I would always be reading and learning. I really kind of prefer Western herbs. I'm fascinated by supplements. I've taken a lot of different workshops with supplement companies. I feel like I have a pretty good handle on the quality. I test everything out. And my aim is to have things in the store that are uncompromising quality, which means you're absorbing them, and also really effective. I really want things that you can tell they're working. There's a couple things we'll talk about, maybe you can't tell right away, but a lot of things I'm going to mention, you can feel them working. They get you results pretty quickly. And I've tested all these supplements out. I've done a lot of research. I didn't come into any of this lightly. And we do have a money back promise too. You do have to pay to send stuff back. We actually haven't had anybody send anything back yet. But if that would take some of the fear out of things for you, and then we want you to feel comfortable, shopping and not feeling you're getting stuck with a bill. But I think we're not really getting returns because these are good products. Not everything's a fit for everybody, because of little reasons and preferences. But I think that a lot of things you'll find will be a really nice fit for you. Okay. Yeah. And I'm very loose if you want to comment at any time, please do so. So here is, whoops, that's not what I want to do. I don't want you to see my whole messy screen. Let's see if that's okay. That's better. Here's the shop, and you can find it also from bridgetdanner.com. The shop site, just kind of links back and forth. And we're going to start today with what I call like foundational supplements that can support either hormones or detoxification or pretty much anything. But I have them in the hormones category just because, again, we're just getting started and we're just sort of getting all our things organized. But before we get into some of these herbal things, I really want to talk about foundations. So I review people's supplements all the time. I have for many years. And what I often find is that people are taking special supplements like hair, skin, and nails or CoQ10 or whatever, and they're missing some foundational things. So just a few of the foundational things I want to mention are magnesium, fatty acids, and B vitamins. So I'm going to kind of stress those. I also have some vitamin D in here in the shop. These are so important. So I'd ask people, are you taking magnesium? And they say, oh, I guess so. I take a multivitamin. So if you take a multivitamin, it's like one a day, it's probably going to have about 10% of your daily magnesium. If that. Magnesium is bulky. There's no way around it. And magnesium is essential for like 300 processes in your body. It's deficient in our soil. We lose it when we're toxic. We lose it when we're stressed. So we generally need a lot more of it than 10%. If you're eating like a super high greens diet, you may be getting all your magnesium, but it's like all day long you're eating greens or something like that, which most people frankly aren't. So I think that magnesium is a really important thing to supplement for detoxification and for hormones. It helps you make progesterone. It helps with detoxification pathways. It can help you have bowel movements. So it's pretty darn important. We have it in a couple forms. Oh, I think I see a comment. We have it in a magnesium powder here. And then we also have it within our daily packs. So this is a prenatal pack. You take it twice a day. I've been taking this for about 2 years, and I'm not trying to have a baby. We'll talk about that in a minute. And then we have this twice daily essential pack that just is a little different formula. It does not have iron, and it has a different ratio of fatty acids. I see a couple hands raised, so let me just finish this thought, and then I'll answer those questions. So one person said earlier that they had low ferritin. If that's something you want to get the iron, like in the prenatal. And if you don't know your iron status or you're not menstruating anymore, you want to stick to something without iron. So iron is very necessary, but too much can be toxic. So if you don't have a period anymore, if you're a man, I think there's one man on the call. Hi man. Then you don't need the extra iron. So that's one thing to consider. Then there's the magnesium. So let's talk a little bit more about magnesium. These two formulas have something called magnesium malate. It is a magnesium salt, so to speak. It's kind of the category it's in, but it's still very easy to digest and it's not going to give you diarrhea. Again, I've taken this one for 4 years. No problem. I can take it without food, and I have a pretty sensitive stomach. The body just is really receiving it as food. And then down here we have the magnesium chelated powder. So this is like a step up in absorption and quality, so to speak, of magnesium. All the chelated magnesiums have magnesium that's bound to an amino acid. So it looks like food to your body to take magnesium in this way. I recommend 400 to 600 milligrams of magnesium a day. That's usually what I find. Some people might need 800, and you're going to get some stomach upset if you take more than you need. But like for me, I take my prenatal every day, and I get like 400 milligrams. And then sometimes I'll take the powder, especially around my period or if I'm having headaches, this kind of a thing. So let me say this last thought, and I'll get some questions going. These 2 boxes will last you a month. They're 15% off on our pre-sale sale. And if you buy either one, you get a free magnesium powder. So the price of the magnesium powder is $35. So it's a pretty good deal. So I would suggest you get it and try it out. Again, I love these packets. I've been taking them forever. Some people say, oh, isn't it less like eco-friendly? Not really, because this is a paper box, and then you get these little plastic wrappers, and you can recycle them with your other plastic bags if you like, and you can travel with them. You can have them in your purse, so it's a lot easier to remember to take them. Okay, let me see what the questions are here. Okay, Karen was having trouble with her audio. I want to make sure it's not on my end. Can other people hear me? Okay, thanks, Shatha. Great, thanks, Johanna. Okay, awesome. Okay, Debbie asked, can you take both boxes or how are they different? So yeah, let's talk a little bit more about that. You could take both boxes if for some reason, like say you're perimenopausal and you still think you might need the iron, but not all the time. But let me tell you kind of the differences. Okay, everybody's getting their audio fixed. That's good. So the prenatal is a little bit more robust on the amounts of things in it because it's kind of made for preparing your body for a baby. So again, this is 15% off. And when we set up the auto ship later, it'll also be discounted. But this is basically 3 supplements in one. It's calcium, magnesium supplement, multivitamin, and fish oil. Let me see if I can see. So again, I forget who, maybe Debbie asked, if you don't need iron, Debbie, this is 30 milligrams of iron. If you don't need that because you're not menstruating, don't take this one. And then the fish oil here is all fish, and it's pretty high, good dose of EPA, DHA. It's, a good maintenance dose if you want, you're in your fertile years, you could become pregnant, you plan to become pregnant, you're pregnant already, you're breastfeeding. Again, I've been taking this one and I'm not trying to get pregnant. I just wanted to get the iron, and then it has also a really nice, robust amount of certain things. It's got a little vitamin D, but it's like a lot of folate, a lot of B12. See here, it's got quite a bit of magnesium, and then there's more in a different one. It's got, a little more iron. It's got a nice amount of zinc and a nice amount of chromium that helps you with blood sugar. So I just like it because it's a little bit more robust. However, I think I might switch to the other one too. I'll tell you more about that in a second. Debbie says she doesn't need iron. Yes, so don't take the prenatal. I was thinking about calling this one like Cycling Women. Whoops. But it's, everyone knows the name prenatal, so I just stuck with that. But you don't, like I said, you don't have to be trying to get pregnant to take a prenatal necessarily. This twice daily, maybe Debbie, is more for you. Again, it's like 3 supplements in one, and it's 15% off. And you get a free magnesium. And everybody who orders on this pre-sale is going to get a free Julva sample, which is a feminine cream. So that you're going to get a lot of stuff. It's going to feel like a good value. So here's the other one, a little less vitamin A, a little less folate, still a lot of B12, quite a bit. Just a little bit of less stuff. It's why it's a little less expensive too. And no iron. And here's something pretty interesting. So the fats are a little different. So a little less EPA, DHA, you're not making a baby's brain, and a little bit more of some other fats like gamma-linoleic acid that's really good for perimenopause, going through any hormonal transitions, inflammation, macadamia nut oil, borage oil. So it's just a little different formulation, a little less fish oil, more for like just maintaining. And if you're in my hormone detox group, you know that I've been studying up on fish oil amounts. It used to be that everybody said to, take like gobs of fish oil, but the information is kind of changing. And this is more like a maintenance dose, I would say, to take. Sorry, I'm just messing with my volume. Any other questions about that one? Robin asked what we recommend for sleep. Okay. Well, Robin, one thing would be that magnesium powder. Just getting your daily dose plus the magnesium powder. I didn't actually put a sleep supplement on here yet, but I would recommend 5-HTP. I probably should have put it on. Robin, if you want it on there, I'll add it for you. Eventually, I want to make my own sleep formula. So I think that's a little bit why I didn't do it quite yet. But I really like 5-HTP for sleeping. I take 2 a night pretty often to help make melatonin. So I wonder if you've taken that one before, Robin. Okay, let's see here. Linda, did you want to talk? I keep seeing hands go up and I don't know if it's for real or not. Linda, did you want to share anything?
Well, I was just wondering about lowering your bad cholesterol. Is there something in here for helping that?
Yeah, that's a great question. So some of that could be just taking these good fats like we're talking about. And then anything that's anti-inflammatory. So I would say listen for the detox section that we'll do last. And usually cholesterol forms in response to inflammation, and that cholesterol is sort of coating the arteries and repairing inflammation. So definitely good fats are anti-inflammatory. You can get them in your supplements, but you can also get them in your diet. Linda, like doing ground flaxseed and fresh nuts and that kind of thing. And just Linda, are you avoiding like sugars and alcohol and all that?
I'm working on eliminating the sugar, and I don't drink alcohol.
Okay, great. Yeah, also watch out for like fried foods. Any of those mutated fats or vegetable oils can also contribute to cholesterol.
Okay, thank you.
Great. Okay. All right, so we talked a little bit about magnesium, fatty acids, and then we didn't talk much about B vitamins. So B vitamins are total rock stars for women's health. They are, if you look at the processes it take to ovulate every month and make hormones every month, it's like B5, B6, B2, B12, like they're just needed so heavily for a good hormone production. So you can see here in this formula, B1, B2, B3, B6, B5, B12. So you usually want them in a complex, and you can often take more than the RDA because B vitamins are water soluble. That means you cannot hold on to them. You cannot store them. If you don't use them, you'll just pee them out. But you need to get them every day because you can't store them. So I think B vitamins are one of the most important things to take every day. They're, pretty affordable, but you want them in a good form. So I'll just point out a couple things, on this label. Let me see if I can make it bigger. Oh my goodness. I don't want Pinterest. So I think the sign of a good B vitamin is often that it's methylated. So, hold on, sorry. It's like so finicky. Here we go. So you see this vitamin B12 is listed as methylcobalamin. That's a form of B12 that's already methylated. So if you're a poor methyl donor, you have that MTHFR gene mutation that's active, this methylcobalamin will be easier to absorb than a cyanocobalamin, which is a different compound that's cheaper to make. And so if you see a cyanocobalamin on your label, like if you're at Target or you're looking at your own supplement right now, it's just a cheaper form of B12 that your body may not be able to absorb as well and may actually kind of block B12 absorption if it's hanging around and your body can't deal with it. And then this folate, this is their TM, it's nature folate. And that's their little thing. But what you don't want to see is folic acid. Kind of like the methylcobalamin, folic acid is not broken down in a way that your body knows what to do with and knows how to handle for many people. So these are just like a couple things you want to look out for with B vitamins that I've looked through the entire section at Target before and I couldn't find one that had this. So, certainly it's cheaper to buy things at Target or Costco, but they're often just not going to work as well. So really needed for the hormones, as I mentioned, and very, very much needed for detoxification. Same thing. You'll see, like, if you look at phase 1 detox, phase 2 detox, it's like B2, B5, B6. They're just needed for all sorts of things in the body, for making glutathione, for just making sure that toxins like exit the body correctly. Again, they're going to be depleted by excess toxicity and stress and sugar. So you just want to make sure that you get them every day. And you can't exactly, there might be a way to overdose, but again, you're going to kind of pee them out if it's too much. So you don't think you have to worry too terribly much. Let me see something new on the chat. Yeah, so Biana, you can again do these methylated B vitamins for methylation. I don't know if that was you're asking or not. But yeah, that's a little bit about these foundational supplements. It's not the sexiest part of the lecture, but it's so important because I think if you're spending a lot of money on this or that to modulate your hormones and you just aren't getting like fish oil and magnesium and B vitamins and all the other little things in here, like vitamin A is good for hormones and that's in here. These are just like essential. That's why they're called essentials. And we're actually developing them with our own label, but this is the one we have here for this night. Often we do need extra vitamin D. So the vitamin D in here is about 1,000 IU a day, which is still more than the recommended daily allowance. But we often need about 5,000 IU to keep up our vitamin D. And this is the dosage of this guy. So this is 5,000 IU, and it has vitamin K in it. So as you have more vitamin D in your system, you also help calcium be absorbed better, and you don't want that hanging around in your blood. You want it transferred to your bone, and that's where the vitamin K comes in. So I always recommend vitamin D with vitamin K. This would be like a 1-a-day maintenance dose. However, if you don't know your vitamin D status, I would suggest you get tested. You can message me because we have a link where you can get tested for $50. Actually, the guy from that lab is going to be interviewed by me tomorrow. So vitamin D levels you want around 80. I can't remember the units, but I would say that's a good goal to have your status at be like 80. And I see people come in with like 12, 15. So those people need more vitamin D for a while. They need like 20,000 IU a day for a month, and then go down to 10,000, and then go down to 5,000, and then retest is usually how I recommend it. So there's a vitamin D I thought was important to have around. And that's 15% off too, and you'll get a Julva sample. Let me see. Linda, do you have a question?
Nope, I do.
Okay, let me see how I take your hand down because it keeps reminding me. Okay, we're good. Thank you, Linda. It's trying to make me a good host. It just keeps reminding me. Okay, so the last group we have in this hormone page is several herbal complexes for different hormonal complaints. The first one is a little different than the rest. It's called Endocrine Complete. Whoops. And it has some vitamins and minerals. But like you'll see here, it has, some B12 and folate and iodine, which is important. It's not too, I know we have a couple autoimmune people. We don't have any mega doses of iodine here, but you do need some iodine. It's important. Usually it's important to balance it out with selenium, and you can see that there's selenium here also. There's zinc that's good for progesterone production and your immune system. There's just a tiny bit of copper, some trace minerals, but then it has a whole blend for the endocrine system. You can see here, let's see. Oh, I thought it had the different Huh. It doesn't say here what it says in the other catalog. But it's supporting your hypothalamus, pituitary, your adrenals, and your thyroid, and your female organs, kind of all in one. So I can't get like a better picture of this right now. Let me see. So a lot of the herbs in these different formulas overlap. I would say if you have some hormonal issues, you're feeling off, you're feeling tired, maybe you have like some low-level thyroid complaints, that this is a good general one to kind of cover a lot of bases for you. And this is one will only last a month, but it's a pretty robust formula. I think if you take it as directed for a whole month, you'll start to see some changes. It's so teeny tiny, I can't hardly read it to you. So it has some adaptogenic herbs and some tonic herbs. They're good for women's health and just kind of coordinating all these systems of your endocrine system. Yeah, Biana, you still need a little iodine even with hyperthyroidism. It's just a tiny bit. These aren't mega doses. And it sounds like you have hyperthyroidism right now. Biana, you said you have Hashimoto's, right? So you probably go from hyper to hypo. Most people in Hashimoto's don't stay in hyper. So you kind of go back and forth. And again, this isn't so much that it's going to throw you off. I'm sorry we can't see that label a little bit better. So I'll have to get my assistant to help with that. So that's the one that's sort of like a general friendly to everyone type one. Where is that? Endocrine Complete. And then we have some that get a little more specific. So this one is Renomen. So you can imagine it's for the adrenal glands. And it's mostly adaptogenic herbs. So there's no vitamins in this one. It's just herbal. And see if we can see it a little better here. There we go. So this one can potentially last you 2 months. You can see here, if you take 4 capsules a day, it'll last you a month. And if you take 2 capsules a day, it'll last you 2 months. So it has rhodiola, bacopa, magnolia, romania, ginseng, ashwagandha. I have a guide I can send you guys all about these different formulas too, to understand kind of how it's formulated and what each herb does. I like that it's herbal. There's no animal compounds in here for people who are vegetarian. And I think it's just a very nice, gentle adaptogen if you're having trouble handling stress, if you feel tired, and wired. I think it's a great idea. You may want to start out with 2 and see how you tolerate that for, say 5 days. If you're not feeling much, you might want to up it to 4 for a little while, just to see if that feels good for you. If that feels overstimulating for you, you don't want to do it. Sometimes you need a higher dose in the beginning of things, just to get you back, and then you can go to a lower dose. So this is also 15% off, and you'll get a free Julva sample if you want to give it a try. Again, we have like a money back guarantee if you don't like something. And then we have 2 estrogen formulas here. The first one is Estro Quench, and the second one is Estro Mend. Estro Quench is for high estrogen to help lower it. And it's pretty cool how it does it. It just prevents estrogen conversion by the aromatase enzyme. It's a pretty interesting formula. Let me show you that one. So it just has some like flavonoid complexes from plants to help prevent that estrogen going from pregnenolone like to estrogen. It says preventing estrogen formation in an excess amount. So it has some maca, mangosteen, pomegranate hull. It's a pretty interesting formula, black pepper fruit extract. So I think that if you actually know you have excess estrogen, this is a good idea. If you don't really know and you're just guessing, I would test with us. This is the only area that I'm a little bit, not crazy about people trying to figure out this stuff themselves. If you know through testing or throw because you have, a certain condition that you definitely have high estrogen, then I would suggest taking this kind of the same dosage we talked about earlier. But, you don't always know what you're getting into. And then the Estromen, a lot of people don't know or acknowledge that they have low estrogen. And many women actually do. So if you're having, vaginal dryness, low libido, kind of losing muscle mass, your skin is kind of sagging, you may have low estrogen, and you may have already been tested. So I hesitated to add these to the shop. I thought, well, many of you have been tested. So if you know that low estrogen is a problem for you, you can do this Estromen. And then we have just a couple more to do here. So testosterone, I think, is something that many women are low in. And actually, men can take this Testogain too. So I like that it's for men or women. See if we can get the teeny tiny label to show up here. So this one has some interesting things: horny goatweed, velvet bean extract, maca root, ginseng. And again, you can take it at a higher dosage for a while. You might want to do that for like a month till you see your sex drive coming back, till muscle mass is coming back, till kind of energy and confidence are coming back. And then maybe you can cut down to that maintenance dose. So don't be afraid of having some more testosterone in your life. It can really help you feel younger. So a lot of people need that one. And that one I would feel okay about you taking without testing and without knowing. So if you just know that you're losing muscle, you don't feel as confident, you don't have a sex drive, then I think it's pretty safe to take that one. And then lastly, we'll go to the Thyroid Mend, and then I'll take some questions. So I looked into this one. It's totally safe for autoimmunity. Again, it's mostly herbal. It does have some seaweed in it, which contains some natural iodine. So here it's got 200 micrograms of iodine, which is a little above the daily value, but it's not, again, it's not much. Some doctors recommend, whole milligrams of iodine. And I actually think it's often fitting. I'm not exactly one of those people who is anti-iodine, but again, this is a very small amount. So this has some seaweed, some ashwagandha, bacopa. See, again, there's some repetition here. I love that it has rosemary and sage in it. These are really great antioxidants that help the thyroid. So no matter which your thyroid condition is exactly, whether it's like an unknown low thyroid or it's an autoimmune condition, this is just a nice tonic for your thyroid. Well, the other thing I wanted to mention is it really helps thyroid hormone conversion and what's the right word? Not absorption, but receipt, so to speak. Because sometimes the cell wall is inflamed, and so it's not letting the thyroid hormone in. So this formula also helps with that as well. And I'll have to send you guys the guide to all these formulas so that you can see them. But this one is a really well thought out formula that's just helping like every stage of thyroid hormone activation. Any cornstarch or corn, asked PJ. No, I can't think of anything that has corn or cornstarch, but I can go check the multi again to see if there's any binders, but no. In the capsules, you ask if there's any corn. Let me check this label, see what this one says. So it says the capsule is made out of hydroxyl methylcellulose, which is, cellulose is like a fiber. I don't know if that's from corn. I could look that up if that's something you need me to look up. I'm happy to do that. Just let me know. Good supplement for infections, Fresca asked, especially dental infections. Yeah, let's circle back around to that. That's in the digestive kind of section, I would say, that we're not going to cover as much, but I can go show you. And there's a woman I'm going to interview next week, and I'm going to talk about her formula for infections. And also Fresca, I'm just thinking of clove oil, which is the free oil of the month with doTERRA this month. That's good for the mouth, or On Guard blend. And brain fog, we're going to get to. Fresca said, I've heard if you are hypothyroid, you cannot heal yourself from this problem. I would disagree with that. I think you can heal yourself from that problem. So yeah, I think this is going to help your thyroid hormone perform better for you. And it doesn't have to be a permanent thing that you are on this, because hopefully you're working on underlying conditions of why your thyroid is off. Are there toxins to clear from your body? Are you under chronic stress? Are you exposed to too much EMF? This kind of a thing. So yeah, I think the thyroid problems are fixable, and you don't necessarily have to keep taking the same retinue of supplements forever. Are all the supplements gluten-free? Yes, they are. Okay, so that is the hormone section. PJ said he's allergic to corn, so he needs to know that. Okay. I need like a pen. PJ, that's a pretty easy check for me, so I can let you know that one pretty quickly. If you don't hear back from me, write our help desk, and we'll make sure that we get a hold of you. Okay. So let's move on to well, you know what? I'll take a quick stop in the digestion before we move on to detox. So right now, what's on sale is these categories: detoxification, hormones, and personal care products. We talked about hormones. Personal care products are things like, oh, this is a good one for you, Fresca. We have this herbal toothpaste that's completely incredible. This is what we use in our home. It has the herbal formula biocidin in it, and it also has essential oils. So it's good for keeping the bacterial balance in your mouth healthy. And you could use it for infection, Fresca, but you also probably want to add some heavier hitters as well. Then we have my favorite skin serum on here. Right here, there's 2 different flavors. This is my favorite deodorant, my favorite sunscreens, and this is something you'll get when you place an order. You'll get this sample of this feminine cream that I super love. And then we'll take a quick stop at digestion. So that personal care is on sale. I did not put the digestion category on sale because it's the oldest and we already have some people kind of ordering. Honestly, I didn't put it on sale because we sell the most of anything is this Mega Spore and it's already on sale if you buy 3, and it's just kind of like too much cutting into our profits if we have 15% off again. So I didn't put the digestion category on sale, but it's a pretty popular category. This gut infection kit could work for your any kind of infection, but it's a little bit more for your gut than your mouth. However, Fresca, this tincture right here, which if you can buy that by itself from the company, it's called Biobotanical Research, you can use that tincture for your mouth. They've also just come out with a mouthwash, and they have that toothpaste. So those are some ideas for your mouth. And I know people have asked about autoimmunity today. I love this kit right here for autoimmunity. The Megaspore, the GI Restore, and the GI Assist. It comes with a guidebook about leaky gut and a few videos. It's on sale since it's a kit, and it's really a lovely way to restore your bacteria and your healthy gut lining. So that's a good one. If bloating is more of a primary problem for you, though, I would start with this bloating kit before you move on to a different kit. If you suspect you have some gut infection, this kit is really lovely. It's got a binder, a probiotic, and a broad spectrum antifungal, antibacterial. Okay. Yep, we're going to get into the liver a little bit next. So we're going to go to the detoxification category. And someone asked about cholesterol, Linda, I think. Here's one way to reduce inflammation in your body. I was thinking of calling this the brain, what was I going to call it? The brain deflame kit or something. This would be a phenomenal kit for brain fog, someone asked about, headaches, just feeling like your brain isn't working well. This would be a great kit for that, as well as menstrual cramps and really any kind of inflammation in the body. So it has 3 products in it. Our powdered magnesium, pure or super pure fish oil, and then the last product is this product called Pure PC. This is what is called a phospholipid. It's a fatty compound called phosphatidylcholine that helps a lot of things, but it's a special affinity for your cell membranes, so they're not inflamed, so they can communicate better. It has a special affinity for the brain and also the liver, and also can help for like colitis and some gut conditions. Can help you with making proper amounts of neurotransmitters. But I think the real star of it is for brain fog and any kind of brain problems. If you've been exposed to mold, it's phenomenal. If you've had a head injury, I think it's a good idea. This kit, is like a super great dose of all these things. Nice dose of really magnesium that'll really get into your body. Fish oil that's really your body's going to just soak it right up, and this phosphatidylcholine. So I think it's about a month's supply of everything. And again, it's 15% off right now, and you'll get your little free sample thing. So I would love for people to try out this kit and tell me what you think. Again, it's money back if you don't like it. Debbie asked about Lyme disease. Sure. So there's certainly lots of inflammation, Debbie, with Lyme disease. I think that inflammation is it's a key component of like any disease nowadays, heart disease, diabetes. The kind of people who are usually in my community are usually dealing with more like Lyme, Hashimoto's, mold exposure, and it's good for all those things. So I think this inflammation kit would be great for you. That gut kit we talked about earlier would be great. And this is my little detox starter kit that I'm super excited about. It has 3 things in it. It has a dry brush set that we'll talk about in a minute. I don't know if anyone saw on Facebook, I recorded the guy who makes these dry brushes. It has a glutathione supplement and an easy spray that you spray in your mouth, and it's a month's supply. And then it has this binder that we can talk about in a minute as well. So binders are like little garbage men of your body, and it helps carry toxins out through the gut. And some binders actually combine things that are in the bloodstream and move them out of your body. So yeah, this is a lovely kit. I dry brush almost every day. Glutathione, if you've studied it, it helps move toxins out of your body, and it's depleted when your toxic load is high. So somebody just asked about Lyme disease. Your toxic load is high when you've got all these little spirochetes and whatnot dying off in your body. So everybody who has some kind of toxic load, and it could be with Hashimoto's too, because your gut's inflamed and there's just extra debris in your body. So the glutathione combined with the binder is a really lovely just way to get started with a different detox routine. Colette, you're asking, can you speak of the MTHFR? Is that what you're... And how much the intestinal can actually absorb of the supplement, which are methylated. Colette, I don't know if you came in late, but we talked earlier in the B vitamins area about methylated vitamins. And yeah, when they're methylated like that, your body can absorb them much, much better. I don't have like an actual like number or percentage or whatever for you. But that's, generally what you want to take. And then you're not, there's some more to genetics and all that than I can get into right here, but just kind of good rule of thumb is you want to take those methylated B vitamins. So you dry brush always when you're dry, usually before you would shower or just, before you get dressed in the morning. It takes just a couple minutes. I'll share the video we made about it. It really moves lymph, wakes up your cells, helps for detoxification and energizing. I've become like a total addict. I even bring it when I travel. I bring just like a little brush. It just sets you off in the right mood for the day. Fresca has some other question. You can try dry brush too hard, but you're probably not going to do it because you're in charge of your own brushing. So I don't think you don't think you tend to dry brush too hard, and yet you don't have to take a shower after you do it. I love it. I think it's really powerful. We're also selling the glutathione just by itself. Again, it's just a mouth spray. You can you can just use it in the morning and the night. You can use it before you shower. You can use it at a higher dose or a lower dose, depending if you're really battling something versus, you're just kind of trying it out for support. So some people will feel more energy or more relaxed, and some people won't really feel anything. It's sort of working behind the scenes. But if you test it, you'll see that your glutathione levels are going up in the blood and that you're excreting more heavy metals and other toxins. So it's pretty great. All right, next line. Okay, I want everybody to wake up and fall asleep because I am very excited about these supplements, and I'm really excited to see which ones you guys want to buy. As soon as I get orders in, I'm going to order these because I ran out and I'm like dying to get them back in my life. So I'm waiting till I can make this group order. So this supplement is called Mitel Q. Mito stands for mitochondria. And the Q stands for CoQ10. So let's start with this first Mitel Q. Whoops. I'm like accidentally shopping. So this first original Mitel Q is a little cheaper because it's just the original formula with no additives. So it's $60 minus your 15% off. So what's that? $52. And it's a month's supply. You take 2 capsules a day when you wake up. Before your food. If you're on thyroid medication, I really think you could take it at the same time. It's just not, I don't think it's going to be any conflict there. And then you can just eat breakfast normally. So what's different about this Mitel Q is the way the CoQ10 is delivered. So CoQ10 is an enzyme that you may have heard about because of the heart. People who, have heart problems take it, or if they're on like cholesterol medication, they might take it. It's a great thing to take if you're aging. And if you're on this call, you're probably not 12 years old if you're on this call, and you're probably wanting more energy, and you might be dealing with toxicity, whether it's from Lyme disease or Hashimoto's or wherever you're on this call. And the Mitel Q is really fantastic for giving CoQ10 enzyme to the mitochondria of your cells, so giving it right where it's needed to make more cellular energy. So what happens when you have more cellular energy? Every cell in your body has a different job, right? Your liver cell has a job, your pancreas cell has a job, your skin cell has a job, your eye cell has a job, and they all need mitochondria to do their job. So you're going to get just more effective functioning of your body for starters. This thing's working better from your heart to your ovaries, just everywhere. And then the second thing is it's cellular energy. So it's just energy. And the most amazing thing started happening when I started taking this about a month ago. At first, I was a little inconsistent about it, and then I got more consistent. And I just basically stopped needing or wanting caffeine or chocolate. I just had energy throughout the day. I didn't have an afternoon slump anymore, and I frankly had been dealing with that for 10 years. I just couldn't fix it. I was doing everything. I was taking salt and adaptogens and essential oils. I just couldn't get over it until I found this supplement. It's like phenomenal. And honestly, I'm going to take it the rest of my life because I really like the way it makes me feel. So this is the original Mitel Q. You take 2 a day in the morning. Later we'll add like auto ship and different discounts. But again, it's 15% off right now. And let me show you its sisters. So there's also a version that is the same dosage of the CoQ10, but it also has a few liver supplements. So the CoQ10, kind of like I talked about earlier with the magnesium, it's in a form that just can get into your cell. It's like bonded to something, mitoquinol methylate. I don't even know what that means, but it basically something is binded to the CoQ10 to make it kind of small and able to pass into the cell and into the mitochondria. So you're just getting a lot more out of it than you would normally with the different CoQ10. And I have taken different CoQ10 and it was pretty good, but it wasn't nearly as good as this one. So this one is the same amount of Mitel Q, and then it's add milk thistle, which is really good for the liver. Someone asked about the liver earlier. And choline, which is a compound that we need for the brain and for the liver. And then selenium, which has come up a couple times in our conversation. So it's just got a little extra boost. It's $10 extra, but the woman at the company who makes it like raves about this product. She's like, you know, anybody who's needing this is probably also needing the extra liver support. And she's really trying to get the message out there about how this one works. And so here's some nice information about the different ingredients, about why this CoQ10 is unique. If you're at all thinking about getting this one, I really recommend you to try it because I want your feedback and I want to place my Mitel Q order. And then I also put one in their blood sugar formula. So similar to the other one, except it's got some extra kick for blood sugar. I think it's got chromium. Yeah, it's got chromium, zinc, cinnamon, and cinnamon, a cinnamon extract. So all really good for blood sugar handling. I was actually adding this thinking of a client in our hormone detox group right now who I think really needs this. So I hope she's listening. A lot of women need this for acne, for fertility issues, for weight issues. So again, you can read more about the ingredients here. Chromium is really important for getting sugar into the cells. Let me look for questions. Supplements for eye health. I think the Mitel Q, AJ, would be the best one. And then also consider like the foundational ones because they have things like vitamin A in them. I don't know a ton about the eye. I know it needs antioxidants. I know it needs good fats. I used to have a friend who was an eye doctor. So just I would think about those foundationals if you're not doing them. And then I would think about the Mitel Q. I would look into essential oils too because there's, again, so many antioxidants in those I think could be good for the eye. Okay. Great, AJ. And I think these are the things we already talked about. So this is a pure PC. If you want to buy it just by yourself, this is the most expensive thing in that kit. It's $70. But again, it's 15% off. So what is that? Like $10 off, which is pretty good. You know, there are cheaper phosphatidylcholine supplements, but they do not work as well as this one at all. This is a liquid. It just absorbs really, really well. You're going to get results from it really quickly. So to me, like, it was just one that I couldn't find you guys a better deal because this is the best one. So why mess around? Why take a supplement that's going to work 20% as well? It doesn't make any sense. And then there's the fish oil that we talked about earlier, and then the dry rush. So let's talk about the fish oil a bit more. I have found in my detox journey, pure fish oil in a liquid form to be super helpful for when my brain is flared up, when basically I'm having like a detox reaction, either from supplements I took or let me rephrase that. Okay. So for example, when I've gotten some IVs to help me detox, it gave me like a detox reaction. I got inflamed. So fish oil seems to really kind of dampen that down. I've also used it when I have menstrual cramps. You can use it for migraines or headaches. You know, this is why it's in my inflammation pack. And you don't need to take this mega dose of fish oil every day, but you might want to take it right now if you're in a flare-up. Maybe the flare-up's been going on for you for a few months or, you know, longer, but it's going to come back down if you give these tools to your body. So again, right now I don't take this level of fish oil every day. I just take it as needed. I just have it in my fridge to take as needed. But your first time through, as you do this inflammation kit, or if you just buy this by itself, you might want to take it every day at this level. If you've never taken fish oil before, you're deficient. You need it. But you don't have to keep up this dose again forever, just when your body is needing that like extra anti-inflammatory boost. And you want to make sure when you're taking fish oil, you're also doing olive oil, you're using hemp oil, you're using sunflower oil, like using sesame oil, using good nuts and seeds, because you don't want to only take a bunch of fish oil without any other types of fats to balance it out. Oh, here's this little guy. So this is the binder, GI Detox. We've written some blogs lately about binders. We have actually another new one coming out. Where's the back side? Oh, here. Okay, we don't see the back of the label, but here's what's in it. So what I like about this new version of the formula is that it's a mix of things, and every binder works a little bit differently to bind up toxins. Some help the bloodstream, some help through the gut, some are long chain, some are short chain. So this is just like a nice mix of everything. You can see that it's binding metals. The charcoal is really nice for like gastrointestinal distress, like absorbing actual gas. If you've, had like bacteria imbalance in the stomach, if you ate something gross, charcoal really does the job. Or if you have just chronic infection in your gut, the charcoal help mops it up. Apopectin is seen for biotoxins. This one is saying pesticides and metals. So they're all a little bit different, which is what I really like. Here it's saying, if you're doing things to clean out your gut or treat Lyme disease, Debbie, you're going to be dumping toxic byproducts, and this is going to clean them up. And it molds too. So again, kind of like the fish oil, I wouldn't recommend you use this like every day, all the time, but you might want to use 2 capsules at night, or even 2 in the morning, 2 at night, as a higher dose for a short amount of time. Eventually, I do think it starts to combine your beneficial minerals. So you want to take it away from supplements, definitely away from medications, away from food. You can use it when you use the sauna because it's going to help bind some stuff up. If you're going through a gut protocol or anything like that, if you're going through mold, the binders are a great way to just get rid of stuff. Let me see. It is a capsule, Debbie. Yeah, so it's easy to take. I think this is just, again, like something you might short-term need to take a lot of. Not a lot, but take regularly. And then later, just take it sometimes. Take it when you do the sauna. Take it when you overate, that kind of a thing. But it's a great thing to have in your medicine cabinet. And it's pretty affordable. And then it's 15% off. So, well, I was a little late to say this, but the code for shopping is pre-sale 15, and it's through Saturday only. And you get a Julva sample with each order. And then if you order the packs, prenatal or twice daily, you'll get a magnesium powder. I'm just typing this in the chat. So items will not ship right away. There'll be a delay because of the fact that we're pre-ordering. But you get a discount and you get some extra goodies. It won't be that much longer, but I just have to wait and see what you guys want to order, and then I got to get it to the warehouse, and then they got to get it back out again. But it shouldn't be too bad. We have a little bit more time before Thanksgiving, so hopefully everything will get sorted out before Thanksgiving. But that's the code, pre-sale 15. I'm slightly nervous that if you're international, like it might act up a bit because we don't have all the weights and stuff in there. So I have to go to my son's baseball game, but I will try to check and do some like test orders tonight. I totally apologize if it's not working okay, right away, and we'll get it fixed by tomorrow. So you'll still be able to order. There's a few more questions. No, we've already covered all these questions. Any more questions? You can raise your hand or say in the chat. I know we've been on about an hour, so I want to respect your time. But I also want to answer your questions. So thank you, Angela, Alexandra. Just seeing some names of people I didn't see earlier. Lise, is that how you say your name? Sue. Thanks so much for being on. I hope I've covered some of your questions about supplements, and I will get out some more resources as well, like the guides to those different herbal formulas. But yeah, these are supplements I've really tested, you guys, and vetted to make sure that we're bringing you stuff with good quality. Anna's saying, can you take Estrogen if you're postmenopausal? Yes, what a great question. So we are still making hormones even when we are postmenopausal. We just are making them in a different place and a different type of hormone. So your ovaries will still make a little bit of hormone postmenopausally, but your adrenals will have to make more of the hormone. So this is why it's so important to nourish your adrenals through menopause and your liver too, because you need to be making your hormones can get off balanced if you're not recycling them after they're used. And so that's your gut and your liver. But I'm getting off track. Anna, yes, you could. Estrogen will help because it's going to help you make estrogen. Most people who are going to take estrogen are postmenopausal or nearly there, Anna. So I think it's really made for that age group. There are younger women certainly too that are low on estrogen, but it's mostly women who are, around 50-ish who are going to be looking into that formula. I haven't used the Estrogen yet, but my colleague has used the, is there progestin in here? I hope we didn't forget one, because I did not talk about it. So the Testosterone I've used and it works. Oh, here, I forgot to talk about this one. This is the Progestomend. So this is to increase progesterone. So this is great for, perimenopause when your ovarian function is declining and you need that more progesterone. And it's also good for fertility and PMS. So this is one that my colleague has used and she says it works really well for increasing the progesterone. And this one, I can't believe I forgot this one. Peony, Romania, passion flower, wild yam, cramp bark, Vitex. This is a really lovely formula. And if you have rough periods like painful, crampy, moody, or you have what they call a luteal phase defect in fertility where you're just not making enough progesterone to keep an egg happy for the end of a cycle and potential pregnancy. Or if you're like I'm 44, we just don't ovulate as strongly when we're at this age. And that ovulation we're dependent on to make progesterone. So it's really important. So I'm really glad that we realized we forgot this one. And this is one also I think is pretty safe to take if you have some of the things I described. You're not going to do yourself any harm to take this Progestomend. Fresca asks, yes, there'll be a replay for people who missed or came in late. Is there a way to extend your fertility with these supplements? Yes, there is. So I would say, gold standard would be to get your hormones tested with us. I can give a link to find out more about that because then you really know what's going on with your hormones. If you can't afford that, I would probably do the Endocrine Complete. And then I would say, I mean, you could do so many with these. I would do the Endocrine Complete and maybe the Progestomend. That would be maybe a good base for fertility. But I don't know everybody's specific conditions. Some people might really need the Thyroid because that's their condition. If you have gotten your, your labs done and you need the extra estrogen, you can do that as well. Or the testosterone. A lot of men might need this testosterone for their own fertility, for sperm quality and libido. So Andrea, okay, I'm gonna give you a link, Andrea. Actually, I can show you guys. So this private coaching page right here, if you go way, way down, it'll tell you a little bit about labs. And I've asked my guy to fix this, but he hasn't fixed it yet. So if you go here, it says video blogs. There's several different videos about testing. One is about the Dutch hormone test. One is about the GI map stool test. One is a longer one about toxins. And then one is about the organic acid test. So this first one is about the Dutch. And then there's a bunch of information about our program and our approach. And then if you want to do a consultation to see if it's right for you, you can schedule that here. If you already know it's right for you, you can just make an appointment. But you're welcome to talk to us first if you like. We do kind of one-by-one appointments, or we do them in a bundle. And this bundle actually includes 3 lab tests: heavy metals, female, or kind of all hormones, female and adrenal, all the stuff, and a gut test. And we can alter that too. It includes 3 tests, includes essential oils, and it includes 7 sessions. So it's a really good deal actually, because none of the labs are included in any of the other stuff. So I'll just give you this link right here. It's funny because I was really I didn't have any supplements in the hormone section, and I didn't know what my problem was. And really the problem is this lack of, if we don't have precision when we're working with hormones, how do we know what to do? So the testing is really best, but I know that not everyone can afford the testing. The testing, if you do a one-day test, is $250. If you do a month-long test, it's a little more expensive. But it's a ton of information, and it's so fun and so valuable. So, again, you're getting into more expensive situation, but you're also getting into more accurate situation. Rather than just guessing, you're really seeing what your hormones are trying to tell you. Awesome, guys. Any last questions before we close up? Again, the coupon code is pre-sale 15, and it's open through Saturday. I'm just really imploring, I would really appreciate you sort of voting with your dollar to let me know which things you're interested in, so I know I can carry at the shop for you. That would make me super happy. That's why we're doing so many different giveaways and stuff around this. And let me know if you have any problem with the shop, because I'm going to be really embarrassed if you do. But we just got everything in the shop, but I realized we don't have a link to, sorry, I was reading. Yeah, we don't have all the weights of the products in here, so it might mess things up. Yeah, here's the shop. I apologize, Anna. Don't know why I didn't. So I'm kind of showing you it, but I'll put the link there in the chat. So it's hormonedetoxshop.com, or you can go to bridgetdanner.com to kind of navigate to the shop. I'll show you how you do it that way. So you just go to shop, and then you see the shop, Hormone Detox Shop. It takes you the same place. I'll probably put that coupon code on my main site too, so that people can see it tomorrow. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. I really appreciate your time and your learning with me. Thank you so much. Please email if there's any questions, and just remember to keep Saturday in mind as the deadline for this sale. Thanks, Fresca. Thanks, Anna. Thanks to everybody who's on here. Stop the share. You see my face.